feeling good. How are you feeling today, General?
I'm all right.
I know you just got back from that North Carolina cookout. How you feeling about that? How everything go down there?
It went good. It went real good.
You know what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Most High
Christ. Working for the Lord. Say again.
Most High Christ, General.
Damn right.
Damn right. General, first and foremost, I wanted to say for Wada for joining us for this brief interview leading up to Midwest Fire Weekend. Of course, you know what I mean? The past few fire weekends we've been having you doing amazing lectures. And doing one this year. You understand? And I wanted to, you know, I ain't want to get at people too much, you know what I mean, or whatever the case may be, but just a few questions on why this lecture is so important for our people at this particular time, John.
Right. So,
John, I wanted to ask you, starting off, why this title for this lecture, General? You understand? What's the significance behind this title?
Yeah, read that title.
Yes, sir.
Doing a little quick thing. What? Got General Muhammad in the building. Yabba Zakata, Ibaha Ya, Officer Marah, Officer Yadaya. You know what I'm saying?
Kind of what kind. The title, General, is Are we done yet, and where do we go from here?
Yeah, are we done yet? Meaning, with everything that's going on in the world and the revoking of citizenship, are we done, General? You ain't stopping nothing. You ain't stopping nothing. No, because I think the camera's just narrowly on me. Sorry about that. Did I mess all this up? We need to do this again?
No. You good, General?
I'm good. Cool. All right. Are we done yet? Because what a lot of blacks and Latinos are asking, and Native Indians is that it for us as a part of America?
Right.
Are we going to be separated? Are they going to do us in? They talk about building alligator Alcatraz and all these different prisons and all that.
Right.
So that's the first half that needs to be answered for our people's sake. And it's just straight love for our people to really want these answers, to really want to give them these answers.
Yes, sir.
Give them some comfort in the Most High.
And then
the other half is, where do we go from here? Where do we go to get us where we need to go?
Right, General.
So we don't turn back. You know what I mean? Many times we've been in danger. Many times as a people, we've been in danger under the hands of these nations that we fall under.
General.
Just for the same reason. So the short answer to the question is no, we're not done.
That's right.
We're nowhere near done.
Yes, sir.
We just getting started. You know what I'm saying? That's the short answer. Slug it. We just getting started. We just starting to come together as a nation, rise up as a nation, and be a real body unto Christ.
Yes, sir. Okay.
So no, we're not done. Many nations try to destroy us, but here's where we do have to go from here.
Yes, sir.
Something we don't necessarily always want to do, but we had better do it. And what that is we had better take a good look and examination of ourselves after having been underneath the hands of our enemy for 400 years. Examine, is our lifestyle really right according to God?
That's right.
We're supposed to do something different. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Example of it is this brother that blew his hand up this week.
Yeah,
man, the brother lost his hand. He got to walk around with. So imagine you got to walk around for the rest of your life with your hand jammed up, knowing that you went out and used fireworks to try to cause some stupid shit like that. One thing if you get it, in an accident or something like that, but you go out there and do something like this, I mean, goddamn.
Yes, sir.
To this brother. So we got to have mercy, and we got to understand that we don't want to down this brother.
Right.
What we do want to do is try to utilize his story and other stories just like it to encourage us, man, to really take a deep look at what it's going to take to go forward. Because if America's going to turn their back on us,
yes, sir,
they have been. They really never was with us. I mean, damn near rhetorical. But if they're gonna do what they're gonna do, then we're gonna really need to focus in on the Lord to do something different.
Yes, sir.
The Israelite School UPK has always been up for that since 1969, and we'll continue to be up for it. We'll continue to fix that type of situation.
Yes, sir. Kind of what kind, John. Also, John, I wanted to ask you, who is your focus, and what is your focus for this particular election?
Who is my focus? Well, definitely our Latino brothers. But all 12 tribes are in mortal danger without the Most High right now.
Yes, sir.
All 12 tribes are in mortal. We're doing a quick tape. Good to see you. Yeah, all the 12 tribes are in mortal danger right now. And we're gonna come together, and it's time for us to be strong, and it's time for us to stop turning on each other.
That's
all
right.
The things that we've been saying in Israelite School UBK, they're getting ready to come to pass right now.
Yes, sir.
Then not only they're getting ready to come to pass, but we had better also fulfill those things that are required by the Most High.
Yes, sir.
Focus is mainly on the Latino tribes because they're in the beginning of it. Even though they're stepping it up to the Haitians, I already said they were going to step it up to the other Benjamite tribes, the Levite tribes. The Haitians, they finally figured out that what we've been saying on that street all this time was true.
Yes, sir.
And they going into panic mode. And they now trying to survive. They know that they now got the Lord's 12 tribes in their hands, and they concerned and scared to death.
Yes, sir.
So now they want to get rid of the Latinos, the Benjamites, and they want to get rid of so-called Black Americans, the tribe of Judah.
Yes, sir.
All of them. So they want to carry it out step by step by step until it goes wherever they want it to go.
Yes, sir.
They're not even focused on the other tribes. So we're going to focus on. I mean, they're not even focused on the other people that are in this country and are doing what they're doing. Instead, they totally focus on us. What a lot of people don't know is that tens of thousands of so-called Israelis were over there in Gaza taking up land, buying land from confiscated land from the Palestinians.
Yes,
they
sir.
put Palestinians off the land. Some of them fighting in the battle with Hamas, killing them and all that. And then they get to come back to the United States and act like they're just a regular American.
Right.
Nobody questions their dual citizenship or anything.
Yes, sir.
So let them focus on them. We'll focus on the 12 tribes.
Damn right, General Wakanda. You know, I kind of want to throw this one in, seeing what time it is and the things that's going on. And I've been noticing a lot of Black people are wondering, should they be involved in the struggle with the Hispanics and what they're going through? You know what I mean? Should Black people be concerned with Hispanic problems, so to speak? What does you say?
Yeah, that's a great question. I hope everybody joins me tonight on Real General Yohana tonight, because tonight I'm going to reveal a story about a Jamaican who was born here in the U.S. His father was a Jamaican, came to the United States, got his citizenship, joined the military, spent 18 years in the military fighting wars for the United States of America. He had a son born here, an American citizen.
Mm-hmm.
Son got in an altercation, got evicted from his apartment, went back on the property to get something from the apartment, and they arrested him. ICE agents showed up and deported him to Jamaica. This man has never been to Jamaica, and he's a U.S. citizen.
Right.
But because his father's not a U.S. citizen, they got rid of him, and now he's got to fight it out in court.
Oh, God.
That's one example of the different dirty tricks that they are attempting to use in order to not respect the law or the citizenship of the United States.
Yes, sir.
White people are going to pay a hefty price for this because they don't understand. Donald Trump is teaching them to hate us, and all the while, really radicalizing white America and he's going to radical white America, and then he's going to send them all to war.
Yes, sir.
And all their sons and daughters killed.
John. Yes, sir. John, I got one last question. I ain't want to keep you all night. Again, I appreciate you joining me for this small segment. As the lecture approaches, it'll be August 1st during Fire Weekend right here at the Chicago School, 9909 Roosevelt Road. And I look
forward to it. Go ahead,
absolutely, sir. And seeing on that day, are we done yet, and where do we go from here? For those who have never heard of Commander Jenny Hunter, what will they take away from this lecture if they in attendance or if they tune in? What will they take away from this lecture?
Well, first of all, they'll take away a good peace of mind. A good peace of mind because they'll have a better understanding of what is going on, what is going to happen in the future according to the Lord.
Yes, sir.
They're going to have a better understanding of that, number one. And that's comfort, number one. Number two, they're going to find out what is really important.
Yes, sir.
Now we come into the time where you're going to learn what is really important and what has not been important. Right. And you can learn just how strong or weak you and all your people are. So they're going to be able to take away that. And yes, of course, all of the other usuals, a close understanding of the Lord, a close understanding of, who we are as a people and why the Israelites do what we do.
That's right.
A good, close understanding of it.
I know what kind, General. Yes, sir. Well, listen, I appreciate you, General, joining us for this small segment. Are we done yet? Where do we go from here? August 1st, Midwest Fire Weekend is going down. It's a free lecture by Commander Jenny Hunter. We hoping all Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians will be in attendance. We also will be streaming it free as well. And so we appreciate you for that as well, General, for even getting down.
I appreciate you having me. I look forward to it. I'll see you soon.
Hey, shout out Dave. Hey, look, I just left Atlanta. I said I'll be back in August. The way I go to work, I've been in bitch. I need a...
Yeah. What's going on, Israel? Commander General Yohana, ISUBK, doing it like we do. I can't stop, and I ain't gonna use no baby oil. We're gonna do it right, right? Okay, we're gonna keep it righteous, but we're gonna keep pushing this truth to save brothers and sisters' life. So I'm on today to tell you about the Midwest Fire Weekend. Now, brothers out of Chicago and the whole Midwest, Detroit, Kentucky, who else they got? Indianapolis. I mean, there's a ton of cities in that Midwest. Forgive me if I missed those cities. And all those brothers are going to come together for the Midwest Fire Weekend. And what's going to happen in the Midwest Fire Weekend? It's the biggest and best, one of the biggest and best opportunities for you to get a close-up look at your brothers teaching this truth. A lot of you brothers are out there, been studying, you joining the knowledge, you ready to go, you know you got to hit that street eventually, you getting your crew together, y'all working on these scriptures, but this is what I want you to understand. I want you to take a moment and come through the ISUBK so you can wash all them lies that they've been telling you about before you get here. You're gonna have to do that for yourself so you don't get played out here. So this week, that weekend, July 31st to August 3rd, I got General Muhammad here. All of you seen his class. Nobody matches it. He's bad to the bone with the knowledge of the truth. I got Cat McCard with me right here. Another bad cat runs the Hebrew Academy. You see all of them tapes all over the internet, busting millions of views right now, killing the game. You understand? I got brothers coming through to do expungement. Got so much freely to every brother to show you that the greatest weapon we ever had that was given to us from Christ was a real brotherhood. Midwest Fire Weekend, I don't care where you at in the country, take a moment, get in them wheels, hop on that plane, July 31st to August 3rd, Go on one of our websites, pull up the hotel. Come on out there, bring your crew. You all right? I know a lot of y'all be thinking we too militant, we too hard. Brother, we've been fighting for this truth since 1969. We gonna be hard, but it don't mean you in any danger. We need each other now. You need to not just be out there on your own. Everything that Trump is doing and America's doing, we need to bring the body together. So, come on down. I'm doing my lecture. I don't do that many lectures, but I'm doing the lecture this year. A couple of them actually. And one of them will be during that weekend, and we'll be talking about everything Trump and them's doing. The third world sport with Iran, Saudi Arabia, the Israelis, they still over there shooting. They just hit a air base in Jordan. They killed 3 soldiers, wounded 34 others. Both sides are arming up like crazy. Ain't nothing stopped. They had a little ceasefire, but they arming up like crazy. Now China is bringing a new jet. What's the name of that jet?
J-10C.
The J-10C. This is a super duper high power jet. It's a jet made to compete with the F-16 and the F-32 it is? The F-35. So that's they top, they bring in their top dogs into the theater. But here's what the Chinese got. Their jet can put 12 missiles on the bottom of the jet that are hypersonic missiles. These missiles can't get shot down. Wherever they fire at, they move so fast any defense system cannot take it. All this is the Lord's doing. At the same time, Donald Trump is trying to lock up all of our Latino brothers. He think he can turn our country, this country we built, into China, where he have our Latino brothers doing all the manufacturing. The boy is psycho. Now we in the end. Wake up, come into the body. So I'm inviting you down. I'm Commander General Young. I'm just an OG talk, okay? I done held this game 40 years. You owe me to at least come see me when I say come see me before you hit that street. That's just respect. And you should know that, and everybody know that's how it runs. So come on, see me, man. You in good hands, you safe. Your sister's gonna feed you. I wanna holler at you, man. I don't wanna see you after you make 10,000 or general. I wanna see you now so I can see where you start and where you finish. Come holler at me, man. The Midwest Fire Weekend. Captain Mawakwa, he's in charge. Him and his team from Chicago, they gonna do it up. And they do it every year, which is why it's so popular. So I'm looking forward to seeing everybody come out, man. Now is the time. Bring this body together, man. I'll see y'all later. Did y'all want to say something before I go? Y'all good? I see you out there, man. Midwest Fire Weekend. Big shout out to Captain Mawakwa and his whole team out there. We'll see you then, y'all. Shalom.
Seriously, you're looking for a Christ man, the one who's anointed with the Lord, with the Spirit of the Lord, to do his will. I'm that nigga.
One West, 125th Street. Look, y'all put your faith in presidents like they gon' change this country. Run the league and let y'all play cause y'all gon' make 'em money. Fuck Obama, he ain't come here on cargo.
American honor don't lack no soldiers. For the spirit of the Lord, we don't lack no soldiers. You understand me?
Saint, black, Hispanic, native, they hate y'all as the same. Paint Christ in their image, paint you as a slave. God ain't all love, scriptures say he hate. African soft niggas, they know we not the same. School to prison pipeline to get you off the streets. Put you in the cell, toilet connected to the sink. Molested as a kid, she prostituted as a teen. The byproduct of Martin Luther King dream. They just took the yoke off, my nigga, we ain't free. We living bleak in these wastelands of poverty. If you don't know the truth, then the lies sound promising. Prophecy, gift and the curse. Dylan started killing, they was sitting in church. Black folk forgave him, man, this shit is absurd. You should never love your enemy, that shit ain't gon' work. Yeah, fuck dying on your knees, you better die in glory. Man, I joined the UPK, taught me the art of warring. I took a nigga life like mine to be recognized. I feel that pain every day, it can't be reconciled. Pops banging, my sister a prostitute. My brother got life, and somehow I still found the truth. War ready, no cowards, no excuse. Fuck reparations, you can't bandage no open wounds. Blood on the leaves, body swing hung from a noose. I was on a run in Nashville and I found the truth. I called the school, classes being held by the shock on my life. I want to be a gangster like a cop. Do this for my brothers, real brotherhood. Everything we do, we got it out this book. My nigga, I can never be no African. UBK the only authorized acronym. I'm passionate about my brothers and sisters. We in hell, I ain't got nothing against them. That's another religion. If it ain't under your honor, ain't me murdered by them and got a hug from your honor. That's the way out for a coward in my observation. They don't fear the Lord, they indoctrinated. Wolves in sheep clothing, Joe Osteen. Real priests bringing back black royalty. One West on my headpiece, rank and order. Can't let them trick me off the streets, I gotta raise my daughter. I got brothers at the border ducking ICE agents. I got the name change, it was life changing. My family thought it was a game, put on all black, they said I was going through a phase. It's more of us in jail than it was slaves. Chose.
Somos la Escuela Israelita del Conocimiento Práctico Universal. Hoy estamos aquí.
Lord Commandant General Yohanan ISUPK.
This is what Commander General Yohanan did. This is what he did.
First camp, I cut off all my dreads. I took an oath when that oil hit my head. Niggas capping like they lids. I'm a priest, I never stick no fork in no pig. I was dead till I found out how to live. This brotherhood taught me how to be a man. I came back to my roots, I had to dig. A couple gaps I had to bridge. I got a rib, I'm married to this work. You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
That's right.
You wanna serve the Lord, he ain't in the Christian church.
All right, let's clap it up. All right, Shalom, Yahweh, Shem, Yahweh, Barakatah to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Allah, Shem, Yahweh, to the sisters. All right, this is the Israelite School, a universal practical knowledge under Commander General Yohanan. All right, I am Priest and Officer 5000, Maccabia, out of ISUPK, Minnesota, otherwise known as the Twin Cities. All right, as you know, every Tuesday, this is what we call the Brotherhood class. Also, too, this applies to women as well, sisterhood, right? A class dedicated to so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians who make up the 12 tribes of Israel, which is God's chosen people. And we touch on the problems and issues that plagues our Black and brown communities every single solitary day. All right. Of course, we do have the answers, and the Bible is that book and those records that is not looked into enough to diagnose the issues and to the root of the problems that we suffer every single day. And today's topic, of course, is going to be a few different things, pretty much taking back what is rightfully ours. All right. You know what I mean? And really that can mean a different few things. Okay. When it talks about taking back what is rightfully ours, that could be, you know, our heritage, our language, our identity, our way of life, our lifestyle, our culture, our land, okay? And we are just gonna jump into a few different things, a few different topics. Of course, as always, if you do have any questions or concerns, you can type it into the chat, all right? Let me see here. Also, too, if you wanna look more into, our social medias and, where we will be in the next coming week or so, or, few weeks to months. We do have a QR code on the screen, all right, that you can actually scan, and it'll pop up our link tree. All right, so as per usual, right, what's been really going on in the news, as we know, is a lot more deaths, a lot more war, more information about the Epstein's files, But I guess recently they just came out with something called talked about the Martin Luther King files. So as you know, that's another distraction to hide the fact that, you know, there are indeed some information that is being withheld from the public, which is that there are a lot of people that we are aware of that are well known on those files. And if those were to ever be released, then that means that the earth is going to be in more turmoil, possibly, right? Because we know that, you know, everybody that you love, everybody that you know of that's famous and rich and powerful are on those files. Your religious leaders, you know, whether they Black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, they are on those lists. I can guarantee it. And if you notice, they're the people that say that they represent the Black and brown community, they are not advocating to have those files exposed. A lot of entertainers are not advocating for those files to be exposed. If you think about it, every time you go into the media, whether that be you know, online or you know, on TV, you start to see that the public wants it. All right, the public is the one that wants those files. Those that are in power, those that are in a high you know, status or standard, they are not advocating for it. All right. So, but I mean, that's the least of our problems, right? That's really the least of our problems. In the midst of worrying about white people's issues, what Black and Hispanic Native Indians must really care about is what's going on inside of their homes. What's happening, you know, amongst their children, their marriages, their relationships with one another. Because at the end of the day, while war is breaking out all over the earth, while, you know, Donald Trump is dealing with nothing but controversy and trying to, you know, bring people down with him, what's really important is you. While ICE is raiding Los Angeles, Chicago, the Midwest cities. All right, the East. Let me see, the East. Damn, I'm trying to think what it is. The East Coast, the West Coast. While all these things are happening, we still have to keep our eyes focused, laser focused on what's really going on. One thing that has not stopped is that Black and Hispanic and Native Indians are always the main focus when it comes to destroying us and keeping us in the same place, which is at the bottom. Remember, God's chosen people were made to be at the top, and which is something that we are going to prove in the Bible. We are going to prove where our position and where our place was meant to be versus what it is today. Okay? Like, you know, Black people are very amazing and great. The Latinos and North American Indians are very great. We are much more than what you see today. We are more than the stereotypes. We are very much more than, you know, I mean, just what is put out there in the propaganda, you know what I mean, in the media. Okay, these so-called, you know, Negroes, spics, and wetbacks. I mean, we are much more than those bywords and proverbs, if you do not know. And we have to start acting like it. If anything is going to change about the narrative that there is about the God's chosen people, we have to put in the work. All right. One thing that our oppressor is very great at is telling lies, which those stereotypes are nothing but lies. And lies travel. Lies are more digestible than the truth is. That's why when you do tell the truth, it's not digestible to a lot of people. All right. It's more hated, and you are hated for it. You would think that telling the truth about what's really going on, right? While everybody is blinded, and you start to eventually get them to see, you would think that they would thank you, that you would be received by that. But that's not the case. And also too, we always speak about this whole Jesus talk. God this, Jesus that. you know what I mean, Jesus was a great man. That's absolutely true. But no one really asked the question about if God was so, if Christ was such a great man and everybody loved him and he was so wonderful and he loved everybody, then why did they kill him? Why was he unalive? Because I would think somebody that's lovable, somebody that, you know, loves everybody, died for everybody, I would think that he should be the most protected person there is. You know, like I would think that everybody would be for him and not against him. But once again, because of Christianity, nobody asks those questions. Religion will have you have your judgment, have your mind so clouded that you really can't see what's happening. Okay? All right, so we are going to dissect all of the things that I just said. All right, just piece by piece. And we are going to do that with the Bible. All right, of course. We are not just here just to just to talk all day, but to get to the bottom, get to the nitty-gritty of things. All right. So again, if you have any questions or all right, there we go. So again, if you do have any questions or concerns, you can go ahead and type it into the chat. All right. Let's see. All right. So I wanna open up this class just with a question, and that question being is, you know, how did we get here? All right. How did we become a people and society where we are, you know, at the bottom, meaning that like Black and Hispanics and North American Indians are number one in everything, good and bad. Okay, good and bad. Like when you read into the book of Deuteronomy, you see that there are a people who were told that they will be set above, high, everyone. Now, that doesn't sound like equality. All right. So actually, speaking of that, let me just go ahead and dive. Just you know, get it. Okay. Because we talk about Black excellence. We speak about all the great and good of Black people, which there is, and the Latinos as well, and the North American Indians, because they're in history. We are absolutely amazing people. I mean, we are supernatural. All right. We are absolutely something that the earth looks at all the time. The attention is always on us, whether it's good or bad. But my question is, how did we get to the point where we became dishonorable? Our enemies had the leverage over us, and you know, we were stripped of our entire identity, everything that says that you are God's chosen people. How did we lose sight of that? How did we turn from the image of being the representation of our power, Yahweh, to looking like, you know, our enemies and their gods and their idols? How did we get to that place? How did we get to drugs? How did we get to, you know, crime? You know what I mean? How did we get to dating outside of our marriage? Dating outside of our race. How did we become, you know, a two-stepper for the oppressor, who is the enemy? Because that was not like us, you know, a time ago. And in the time of Christ, of course, you had those type of, you know, slaves, those that was, you know, mentally slaves. You know, you have those people all the time. But because of Christ's whole existence, his purpose was to show us how to really keep the laws and apply it to ourselves, not just talk about it. Now, one thing about Christ, he wasn't someone who talked about the law. He lived in it. And that's the difference. You can talk about what the Bible says. You can talk about what John 3:16 says. What all 5 books of Moses says. But what does it matter if you don't live it every day. Because at the end of the day, the Lord knows who is who and who is not. And he has no problem showing who is who and who is not when it comes to this lifestyle. Okay? So, once again, how did we get here? Let's go back into the scriptures. Let's go into ancient texts to show who we once were supposed to be. All right? Let me put it on the screen as well. Let me see. Yeah, let me just put this on the screen so that way everybody can follow along with me, all right? All right, so this is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6, and it reads, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Now, let's start off with the first part, right? Where it says, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God." A big misconception about the word holy means to be, godlike, all right? Holiness to be, pure, things of that sort. Now, there are some characteristics that follow up with the word, holy in a sense, but otherwise the main point that you should understand, the main definition of holy means to be set apart, to be separate. All right. The word holy in Hebrew is kodash, okay, which means holy, set apart. And one thing that the Lord always pushed our people to be our holy people, which means to be set apart. Now, you may ask yourself, why would the Lord want his chosen people to be set apart? But be set apart from who? Those that are not chosen. All right. And there's a reason behind everything that the Lord has commanded us and ordered us to do. God has a chosen people. With all the people on the face of the earth, when you think about people, you got to get into the nations of people. The nations going down to the race, right? There's a reason why he did not choose everyone, but he chose a particular people. Now, there are going to be outsiders, those that were not chosen. And those outsiders, they live outside, all right? They live outside of what is moral, what is humane, what is right or righteous, so to speak. And so the Lord set us apart because when you look at the culture of the Israelites and you look at the culture of those that are not Israelites, you start to see that something about morality doesn't live over there. You have a nation of people who believe in being cannibals, bestiality. They have no problem living an alternative lifestyle. They believe in drug use and getting high, getting out of their element. They believe in having intercourse with each other in the sense of talking about incest. They believe in eating all the abominable things that the Lord told us not to eat in the book of Leviticus, the 11th chapter. That's why the Lord said, once again, "For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God." Right? So we have to be set apart people. We have to be different. We have to separate ourselves. We have to have boundaries and morals and standards to actually live by in order to be a holy people. All right? And that says a lot about a person when they actually don't do what everybody else does. You know what the norm is? It's to be a part of the alternative lifestyle. That's the norm. It is normal to, just have sex with any and everybody. It's normal. Everybody's doing it. All right? Everybody's doing it. Everybody got a white woman or a white man. Everybody's doing it. That's the norm. All right? But you know what is not normal? Rejecting the alternative lifestyle. Your preference, like for example, right? There are preference of, in the LGBT world where their preference is that they want to be called them, they, who, where, from, right? They have a preference of what to be called. He, him, she, her, he, man, the man, I don't know, right? But as soon as someone who is not part of that lifestyle has a preference, they have boundaries, they have rules, then it's an issue, it's a problem. Somehow your guard has to be down in order to accept theirs. But it's crazy as hell how you have to accept the lifestyle of everybody else, but however, they can't accept your lifestyle that goes against theirs. So somehow you are a threat. Truly, you are set apart. And that's how you should always be. And you don't have to, you don't have to, worry about, you don't have to accept what everybody else accepts. You shouldn't. You should look at what's being presented unto you, and you should decide in your mind if this is for you or not. And the Lord said that those things are not for you, according to the Bible, right? So once again, for thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. That sounds like racism. And racism is not necessarily a bad thing. All right. Racism is always deemed to be this horrible thing that shouldn't happen. Understand that everybody's racist. All right. Everybody is racist. Every race of people feels that their own race is superior than the next. And there's nothing wrong with that. And if you are a particular race of people, you should always consider your own over somebody else's. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's funny too, even animals, right? Like, so in a sense, there's not racism when it comes to animals necessarily, but animals know who their own animal people are, right? Like they know who they belong to and who they don't. All right. You don't have to tell. I'm trying to think of. Let me see. Yeah. You don't have to tell a lion. Not a lion. You don't have to tell a sheep who his, who his race or who his kind is, his species. You know what I mean? Now, when it comes to a sheep and a lion, a sheep knows who, to go back to. A sheep is not going to, try to join the lion species. That's not going to happen. All right. Animals are not at the level of intelligence of human beings as a human species, but they know who their people are, who their, who their species is, and where their family is and is not. The lions is going to eat them. They know that they are a threat. So they are not going to walk into that threat. Okay, they are going to go where they are protected. They are going to go where they family are. But as far as Black and Hispanics and Native Indians, for some reason, we forget who our enemy is. We forget who our oppressor is. So, again, how did we get here? Why are we here? And I just want to read this last part. So when it says, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. The word special means peculiar. All right? Peculiar just simply means that you are different. You are not the same as everyone else or everything else. You are something that is odd to most people. In the Israelite school, or UPK, we are special. All right? Special in the sense that we are different. We are not like everybody else. We get people all the time. How come you don't eat crab, shrimp, and lobster? It's amazing. It tastes great. It's this, it's that. It's a delicacy. You never had that other white meat before? Well, you telling me that you don't smoke anything? You know weed comes from, the earth, right? You got all these things, man. It's because of morality. That's why we are different. That's why we are special. We are a peculiar people. We don't do what everybody else do. Going back to the main key word, which is holy, set apart. That's what you must always be. And also too, a great lesson to learn, if you're telling people that you are keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments, you truly have to live by it. Because people are watching. There's always somebody watching. Even when they don't say anything to you about your new lifestyle, about how you're changing your life, everybody's always watching. And some people are watching for your come up, and then there are others that are watching for your downfall. And the moment that you slip up, people are going to see like, oh, you know what, man? Look, man. Hey, man, I knew that Israelite shit was just a phase for you. You know what I mean? Like, come and hit this blunt. Let's go smash on these whores or these sex workers. Come on, man. Let's do these pills. Let's get high. Let's get drunk. And you have to be very careful because people are watching and they are going to realize that you are not holy, that you're not set apart, that everything that you are saying is hypocrisy, and that you are just a walking contradiction. All right? So you can't be that. You got to be very careful. So the Lord said this, man, the Lord thy God hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself. The Most High required us to be a special people, to be set apart, because that's what the Lord is. The Lord gave us rules, and these rules have to be followed. And there are consequences of these rules not being followed. Now, we always talk about generational curses, which is absolutely a thing. And the thing is this, right? The only reason why it's a generational curse is because for generations we have broken the rules. That's why. Okay? That's why. Now, however, I'm going to show you later how we can fight against those generational curses. And it's not hard as you think it is. Like sin, like people that live in sin, they say that it's so hard to change their life. It's not hard to change your life at all. The thing is, as much as all the work that you put in to get high, all the time and effort that you put into entice that whore, all that time and effort that you put into commit those crimes. You can put all those time and efforts to actually do something right, something that says that you have morality about yourself, that you're not filthy and disgusting, and that you actually have standards. You have some discipline, integrity, humanity. I mean, there's a way. It's not impossible. Okay? However, also too, with us being a special people as we are supposed to be, according to the Most High's words, right? Above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Now, this is where equality goes out the window, because there is no such thing as equality. And in every hierarchy, there's always going to be someone at the top and at the bottom. At the job that you work at, everybody is not the manager. Everybody is not the shift manager, assistant manager. Not everybody is going to be the supervisor. Every employee that works for a company is not going to be in charge. It's the point that I'm making. So with a company, everybody has to play a position. Even in a game fashion, right? Football, basketball, tennis, soccer, boxing, a lot of sports, right? I'll say basketball and football. Everybody can't be, the MVP, the quarterback, the linebacker, the dunker. You know what I mean? Like, everybody can't be everything. Somebody has to be over here, to the left, to the right, to the front, to the back, in the middle, on the sidelines, in order to make this thing run like a machine. Like the Bible says that, we are one body. At least that's how it's supposed to be. With one body it has many members. So I am a body, but my body has many members. You have someone who controls the arm, the hands, who are the eyes, the ears, the mouthpiece, the nose, the head, the neck. You have somebody that is the legs, the feet, all right, the back, the chest. All that are many members. And with those members controls the body. So you have to work together. Okay? But however, the Most High said that we are above all people on the face of the earth. And I mean, look, I'm gonna get it one more time. Like, I need y'all to taste those words. It said above all people that are upon the face of the earth. So what does it mean to be above somebody? It means that you are at the top and they are not. So you outrank them. All right, you outrank them. But however, we are at the bottom. They are the head and we are the tail. And that's only because we did not follow the rules that was given to us from the beginning. And let's get into exactly what those rules might have been, all right? Let me see. Give me 1 second here. Let me grab what I'm looking for. All right, yeah, so yep, here we go right here. So let me get rid of this. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. All right. One thing that we have to do is we have to get back to the basics. We have to get back to once again taking what is rightfully ours. Okay, what is rightfully yours, which is this earth. This is yours, man. Like, come on, man. I mean, as a North American Indian, I mean, not me myself, but for those so-called brothers and sisters who are North American Indians, right? Gad, Native Indians. I mean, you've been fighting for the betterment of these reservations that are not even reservations, man. I mean, come on, man. Like, for example, these reservations that the brothers and sisters in Wisconsin, Minnesota, Iowa, South and North Dakota, Montana live in, I want to say, yeah, come on, man. Like, all these places where the reservations are, where the Gadites are, that's not what you are owed. You are owed much more than that filthy land, because that land is not thriving. Those casinos that are owned by a 1% or 5% Indian. When I say 1%, 5% Indian, I'm talking about those devils. All right, those devils who say that they are Indians, but they are not. You are the seed of your father. If you were to do an actual test, DNA test on those devils that look like Indians, but they are truly devils because of their fathers, you will see that they are imposters. Imposters don't only just live in a Jewish community. They also live, I mean, man, in those casinos, on the reservations. And honestly, a lot of them don't even live on the reservations. The so-called Indians, right, the ones that own the casinos, they don't live on the reservations. They live just like your pastor, your pork chop eating pastor. They live a rich, deliciously life where they are somewhere far from the crime, far from the alcoholism, the drug use, far away from all of the issues that plague the reservations right now as we speak. Okay? And man, I was just at a reservation, I want to say last winter. Okay? Like the ISK went down to the reservations, went down to the casinos, and I finally got to see for myself how terrible it is up there. The only thing that's thriving is it looks like the casinos attached to the hotels. But the people, man, the people are suffering. They're going through hell. Absolute turmoil. And meanwhile, you're wondering how is the casinos thriving in a community where there's nothing but drug addiction, crime, assault, amongst each other. The constant unaliving of one another and to themselves. I'm talking about the number of it is absolutely insane. It's sad. But you realize that it's no different than, you know, the community of the Latinos or the so-called African Americans. It's the same thing happening all over, which lets you know that we are really God's chosen people. We go through oppression the same. Our blood, sweat, and tears is the same. Our pain and suffering is one and the same. Okay? So, I mean, with that being said, let me see something real quick. Oh, not that one. So yeah, with that being said though, right? What we have to get back to is this. This is what happened that triggered our captivities. So let me get it right here. This is Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, now let me start right there. And Moses with the elders of Israel. Now, elders is not really a word that we use in the IHBK because, you know, just sometimes a lot of Christianity behind it, especially once you start to look at other Israelite groups and the Christian church and stuff like that. But however, Moses with the elders of Israel, meaning the elder men of the generation of Israel, who were the ones that, you know, who held the title of intelligence and wisdom. You know what I mean? Those that were, you know, in this work of the Lord for a long time. You know what I mean? From young to old now, right? So Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day. Now, understand, a command is a order. Like if you are in an army, as far as like a military, which, you know, we have our own military, right? Now, Esau's military, but however, you know, like in Esau's military, what you see is that you have a commander, you have a sergeant, and every order that comes out of their mouth is commanded. All right. So when you look at the word command, it means order in a nutshell. So Moses, being a man of the Lord, Mashah in the Hebrew, he commanded us to keep all of the commandments. You don't pick and choose. Now, a big misconception about Israelites, they try to, you know, morph us into Christians, saying that, you know, we pick and choose what we want to serve and keep as far as the law, statutes, and commandments. No, understand that there are over 600 laws, statutes, and commandments, right? But hear me good. There are laws, statutes, and commandments. Laws, statutes, and commandments. There are over 600. There are laws, statutes, and commandments that doesn't necessarily apply to your everyday life. There are laws about how to, you know, how do you say it? There are laws pretty much on how to till the land. Till the land is an old farming word. To till the land means to work the farmland, right? There are laws on how to be a farmer, which is husbandry. That's where that word comes from. Husbandry means that you take care of the land, right? So there are laws about how to take care of your animals, you know, if they die, if there's blemish. There are laws about if you're clean and unclean. Like there are laws, statutes, and commandments that apply to certain things. But the main one that you have to focus on is what's happening in our everyday life, right? So all 600 laws, over 600 laws is not going to apply to you directly every single solitary day. Some people be like, damn, how the hell do I keep all of these laws? It's impossible, right? But of course, I mean, when it comes to the Most High in Christ, nothing is impossible. It's very possible. So the ones that you need to focus on is what you are dealing with today. Are you a person that deals with or battles with, you know, alcoholism, drug use? I mean, women. You know, you pick the wrong. You have bad taste in choosing a woman for yourself. Let's see. I mean, you might have some deviancy inside of you that you need to get counsel about. deviancy can be homosexuality, porn addiction. You know, you are hypersexual. You know, all those type of things, right? I mean, there are laws, statutes, and commandments that can. I mean, there are things in the Bible, rules and protocols. There are things in the Bible that can help you with all of those things. Okay, but however, you don't have to worry about the laws, statutes, commandments that do not apply to you per se, because every single one don't apply to you. There are some that apply to women, and there are some that apply to men. There are some that apply to children. There are some that apply to older men and older women, right? There are some that apply to business men and women. So it all varies, okay? But however, what you need to focus on is you, your family. You got somebody that has anger issues. We just read, like last week or a week ago or two, about how you can be like be angry, which is not a big thing, right? It's all about how you use that anger. So be angry and sin not. Don't be angry and just go ahead and just shoot people, man. You know, now on top of you taking somebody else's life, your life is gone. Because in retaliation, you might either lose your life physically, or you might be behind bars, which is another form of hell, and losing your life. Okay? I mean, once again, the list goes on. All right, so Moses commanded us as a people to keep the law, statutes, and commandments, to keep all of them. And in the book of James, it says, if you offend even one of these laws, I'm paraphrasing, if you offend, meaning that you will break any of one of these laws, you have broken all of them. Because what you realize and what you study, that all the laws, they go hand in hand with each other. All the statutes, all the commandments, they go hand in hand with one another. All right, just like Black and Hispanic Native Indians. Once one is affected, all of us are affected. It doesn't matter if you are blood related or not, because in actuality, all of Israel, all of the so-called Black, Hispanic, Native Indians, we are families from each other. We are all related. Okay? And a lot of us are just distant cousins. All right? We are distant relatives. Especially if you go into the family reunions, you start to see that, okay, so-and-so is with each other, but they're not really, tight into the family. They're probably 7th cousins, 8th generation cousins. They're not your first cousin, your second or your third cousin. They're probably your 15th cousin down the line. And that's reality. What you start to realize when you look at, your family, your own ancestral history. All right? Let's keep going. Let me see. So once again, to avoid our captivities, going all the way back to Adam. Adam had a job to do, just like all of us do right now. And Adam went against his orders of that job. He had a playbook, and the Most High presented what his job was for us as a whole. Understand that Adam had dominion, meaning that he had control, authority, and rule over many things, not just Israel. I mean, at the time, not just his own people, but he had the keys to everything, to a lot of things, right? He had power and authority by the Most High. And what happened was he dropped the ball. He went against the rules. He went against the playbook that the Most High gave him. That's why when it says, once again, I can't stand when Christians say this, right? In the Bible, it doesn't say anything about an apple at all. You can't find it. It's not going to say anything about a goddamn apple. When it talks about the fruit of good and evil, it says fruit. It doesn't mention what type of fruit. All right? It's a metaphor. It's figurative language. Have you ever heard of literary devices? Once again, it is devices of words that are used to describe something. The Bible is not a physical text. Every book has an audience, and it has it has context. And it's not like a ABC 1, 2, 3 type of book. You know what I mean? The Bible is something that you have to break down. You have to dissect. You have to grab this precept and go to here to grab that precept. And the Bible tells you that too. Isaiah, the 28th chapter, 28 and 10, precept upon precept, line upon line. Here a little, there a little. Okay? You're not going to read Genesis all the way to Revelations and understand this book and think that you're done with it. No, this is a records. This is a prophetic book that has records. All right? That has the blueprint, the rules. This is something that you're going to always have to use until Christ returns. All right? This is our guide through life until Christ returns. Because once Christ returns, I mean, it's going to be in our minds, meaning that it's going to be second nature. The law, statutes, and the commandments are going to be second nature to us. You are not going to have to go, on the street corners and teach about the Bible because you're already going to know it. Your children are going to know it. We don't have to teach what it means to be a Israelite, God's chosen people. We don't have to speak about who the imposters are. It's going to be known to the entire earth, not just to our nation, but to all the other nations round about. All right. Let me see. So let me get back to the point. All right, let's get Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. Now we read Deuteronomy, the 27th chapter, right? And also too, that chapter is all about the blessings, by the way. Okay? If we would have did our job, just like Adam was supposed to do his job, which the Lord gave him a playbook to follow. And because he went against that, it ruined a lot of things for us. We became a people that looks just like our enemies. We do what they do. When it talks about in the book of Genesis how Adam and Eve were covered in fig leaves, it's talking about the metaphor of them being covered with the culture and traditions of the other nations of people. And once again, there are scriptures to prove what I am saying. So it's not, all those paintings that we see in modern times right now about how they were naked and how they were covered in leaves. Nobody's covered them themselves in leaves. I mean, unless you're a white man or something, I don't know. I mean, if you look at the show, I don't watch the show personally, but I came across it a few times just flicking through channels, Naked and Afraid. I mean, like they took that shit literally, which is absolutely disgusting because you're not supposed to expose yourself to others. Your nakedness is not supposed to be public to anybody, unless it's your significant other. All right, as a man, you're not supposed to be walking around out here naked with no shirt on. All right, cool, no sweat. You lift, you a man. I got you, no sweat. But that doesn't mean you're supposed to be out here just bare chest. Leave that to your woman. Leave that to the privacy of your own home. All right? You women out here, it's the same thing. Let your body be a mystery. And don't put it on display for everybody to see. Okay? But however, with Adam and Eve, when it talks about being naked, like it's just a metaphor. It's like how black people talk right now. You talk about, if you don't have your piece on you, if you don't have, your strap on you, right? You feel naked because you don't have your protection on you. If you don't have your jewelry, a lot of times, they say that you feel naked out here. You're slipping. That's the same metaphor. All right? That's the same thing, okay? Salak, give me 1 second here. Gotta blow my nose. I think I'm getting a little sick out here. Salak. Salak. Yeah, I think I'm catching something. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. I got the fire weekend to go to very soon. I'm trying to enjoy myself out there, man. All right, but anyway, so when it talks about them being naked, it just simply means talking about how, I mean, they now were able to see everything that the Most High told them not to see, which is all the good and the evil, because the Most High didn't want them to know what it means to be addicted to drug use. Like right now, they call it substance abuse disorder. It's crazy, man. Because back then, it wasn't called that at all. It was called something else. It's called addiction. Which is, I mean, ultimately, that's what it is. I mean, because Adam and Eve went against the rules in the playbook, now they learn what it means to be, part of the LGBT lifestyle, to have an alternative lifestyle. Like even that word alternative lifestyle lets you know that there's evil in that, because there's no alternative way to live. There's only one way to live, and that's by a moral standpoint, with humanity, with integrity and discipline and righteousness. There's only one way to live your life. And a lot of times, when we confuse ourselves or lie to ourselves and live in this delusion that there's more than one way to live, that's when we find out at the end that we were wrong. And because we went outside of keeping the law, statutes, commandments that were commanded of us back in Deuteronomy, the 27th chapter, following all the blessings in that chapter, by the way, this is what happened to us in chapter 28. All right, let's get it. Oh, Salaki. All right, Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Once again, there goes above all nations of the earth again. So let's dissect this. And it shall come to pass, meaning when it says that it shall come to pass, meaning that it's going to happen. All right, it's going to happen soon. Now, does it give you a date? Does it give you a time? No, but it shall happen, meaning that it will in the future. All right. If thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God. Now, here goes two key words. Hearken. Hearken simply means listen. That's what it means. So, if thou shalt hearken diligently. Now, the word diligent means in a skillful manner or to have zeal behind it, right? If you're diligent behind something, you are zealous over it. All right. So like, you are putting all your strength, all your might, all your zeal, all your power to that thing that you are diligent about. Okay. So just like how we're diligent about them drugs, them hoes, or better yet, them 304s, how we're so diligent about, robbing and scheming and stealing. We have to be diligent about, doing the right thing. Because at the end of the day, man, with all these wars going on, with all the resources drying up, with all the DEIs happening, with ICE raids and all the natural disasters happening, what is there to protect you from all of that? Who is there to keep your mind sound? Who give you the words of wisdom in order to, get out of that jam, to not be affected? Like I realized being in the ISUPK for my short time and seeing everything happen the way it has, I'm thankful to say that I haven't been affected. Like I haven't been affected in a sense where I feel like it's the end of the world for me and my family. Now, however, has it affected us? A lot of us in the UPK in some aspects, of course, yes. But understand that because we have this morality, because we follow a power that we have faith in, not believing, but faith is works, right? Faith is not what you think or what you feel. Faith is works. Because of our actions that shows and proves our faith to the Most High, He has made a way for us to be protected from all the things that are happening right now to our people today. All right? Like I noticed that Black and Hispanics in the UPK, we are not worried about deportation. We are not worried about the natural disasters. Every time a natural disaster has happened in the UPK, we walk into it. when a whole war, crime war is happening, we walk into it. It's called the Mission to Acuna. We did that a few years ago. The ISUPK were being followed by the cartel, and we still went to our people, to the Haitians, to the Hispanics, to the Gadites, man. We went to them, regardless of what anybody else had to say about it. We did that. Every time there was a natural disaster in these major cities, the UPK was right there. Meanwhile, Joe Osteen is shutting the doors on you. Your fake Israelite groups are nowhere to be seen. But the UPK, we always show out for our people. And we don't need no claps. We don't need a round of applause, because at the end of the day, we do this for our people, for our power, for our nation, because that's really what it's all about. All right? So, once again, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, meaning that you have to hear with a zeal. All right? When it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments, yeah, okay, thou shalt not kill. Okay, cool. No sweat. What's next, right? You have to understand the spirit. You have to break down the spirit and really understand the vibe of this book in order to really apply it to your life and try to apply it to someone else's as well. Like this is a marathon, not a sprint. All right, this is a marathon. When it comes to dissecting and understanding the mysteries of this book, it's going to take some time. It's going to take some growing. It's going to take some pain and suffering and sacrifice. That's what it's talking about. So, again, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments. It didn't say some. It said all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. So now, what does it mean to observe? When you observe anything, you have to really, like for example, right? If you are a mechanic and someone brings a car to you and they says, okay, it has an issue, I'm not understanding what the issue is with my vehicle. Can you look at it? You have to observe and analyze and really look into what the root of the problem is of that vehicle. When it comes to the law, statutes, and commandments, because it says that you got to keep all of them. In order to observe what these law, statutes, and commandments are, you have to get into class. Why is that? Because in class, right, with a teacher and in a student environment or setting, you start to learn about a subject. And within that subject, there are chapters to it. There are layers to it that you have to break down in order to understand fully what that subject is truly about. Okay? Sometimes it can take a week, a few days, months, years. So that's the same thing when it comes to the Bible. You have to dissect and observe and analyze what is this scripture really saying? What is the vibe? What is the breakdown behind this particular scripture? That's why we have scripture breakdowns, because we truly break down what these scriptures are talking about. That's something that you're never going to receive or get anywhere else outside of the UPK. And once you really start to realize, right, once you look at other Israelite groups, which I have, but I really don't pay attention to them, you start to realize that they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They don't. I realize that they don't talk about what we talk about. They don't talk about the issues. They talk about the things that benefit them. Once again, they are Christians masking themselves to be something that they are not. All right? So let's keep going. That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all the nations of the earth. Now, this is what we were supposed to do. This was our blueprint. Because we went against this, once you read later in these chapters, we start to get into what is called the curses. All right? Curses only came because we broke the rules. It's not about magic. Magic is not real at all. All right? I don't care what anybody says. Magic is not real. However, I've seen some things that are very supernatural. Absolutely. I'll tell you right now. And once again, when I say this is not no mystical, magical bullshit. I've seen things that most people wouldn't even comprehend. And I know it's God. All right? The credit goes to the Most High in Christ. It doesn't go to witchcraft. It doesn't go to, this, that, and the third. I mean, man, you know what's supernatural, though? Oh, no, I'll tell you what is witchcraft, right? Witchcraft is that dope that you're cooking up on the stove. It's that crack rock that you sell on the streets. That's witchcraft. Witchcraft is convincing Black women to abort their babies. Now, what is very supernatural is finding a woman who understands that she needs to be submissive under a man. And she understands her role. And her role is not to be like the man, because she's not a man. She understands that she does have some type of rights, but it's not her body, because her body is not her body. My body is not my body. Understand that? I mean, like, let me see. What else is also supernatural is that with everything that the oppressor throws at you, you still somehow succeed and you come up at the top. I mean, man, like I know people personally in my life who done every drug known to man, and surprisingly has not died. But however, they killed or unalived their old self, and they are thriving and doing so much better. And because of that, they saved other lives, and they are now an advocate for others to do the same, to not be that drug addict, to not be that whore anymore. That's supernatural. I mean, do you know that all the devices that our oppressor uses against us are very addictive? Very much so. But it takes a certain type of person, a special type of people, to be holy, to be set apart, to not be enticed, to truly fight against all the things that look so good to us, that feel good, that sounds good. That is supernatural. Is it easy? No, it's not. Is it hard? It can be. But is it possible? Absolutely. Excuse my language. It is absolutely possible. Once again, in the ISUK, man, no excuses. If you are afraid, if you are someone that lives by excuses, go to church. There's one on every corner. There's one on every single corner that's there for you. There's a pastor, a pork chop eating pastor to be exact, that's ready to prey on you and your children. That's ready to tell you lies that sound so delicious. That smells good, sounds good, it feels good. He's ready for you. Anyway, I want to reiterate this one more time, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. Now, the reason why so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians are not on top, we are not above all high of the nations of the earth, is because we deviated from what we were told to do from the beginning. We had a system that was going to put us above all these people, but instead it malfunctioned because we did something wrong. And somebody came in and created a new system. And that is our enemies. The ones that hate us. Are the ones that smile in your face. The ones that are in your neighborhoods that have stores and storefronts. And your Black or brown communities. But yet they're not from there. They don't live there. But they take everything, all the resources. And they, build themselves up. Those are the people that are above us as a nation. That's because we deviated from our main system, our blueprint, our playbook. Moving on. Let me see, where am I trying to go next? Give me 1 second. Hold on. Go back. All right, y'all get the point of that. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna skip through this a little bit because we got a little bit of time left. Let me see. Let me see. Boom. Okay. All right. Let's get Job 9-24. I'll just start there real quick. Let me see. Boom. Actually, let's get Ezekiel chapter 2 and 3. Ezekiel. Let me see. Ezekiel. Boom. All right, here we go. All right. All right, let's get Ezekiel. So this is Ezekiel chapter 2, verse 3. And he said unto him, and he said unto me, Son of man, I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. They and their fathers have transgressed against me, even unto this very day. Now, this is a very heavy precept and one of my favorites, because once again, with every book that you read, there's an audience. And that's going to be, in this right here, is going to be Israel. Israel, once again, is not the Jewish, the fake imposters. It's going to be those in the ghettos. All right? Those in the reservations. Those, those that fill up every precinct, every jailhouse, prison house. Those that are, being unalived, being mistreated by the police force. That's the children of Israel. And understand, like right now, we are going through abuse from our oppressor, the one that we love so much. Our abuser will not abuse us for very much longer. And that's something I want to get into towards the end. So, and it says, right, and he said unto me, Son of man. And by the way, Son of man was not only just said to Christ. We are the Son of men. All right? Ezekiel was called Son of Man. Adam was called Son of Man. There are many more people in the Bible that were considered the Son of Man. All right? I send thee to the children of Israel, to a rebellious nation that have rebelled against me. I mean, yeah, that's Israel, man. Black and Hispanic and Native Indians. We have became rebellious. We don't do what is right. We do how we feel and what we think. Last time I checked, when you lean onto your own understanding, it doesn't end well. When you think about all the decisions that you made or thought that was right, and you didn't really have no moral thought about it, like things, went wrong for you. You made bad business deals. You know what I mean? You did things that ended you up in prison. You took lives. You broken up and ruined relationships. A rebellious children, man. I mean, and that only happens when you don't follow a system. All right. So, let me see. Also, too, once again, a rebellious children is another thing that really angers the Most High, which was us joining a culture and tradition that involved other gods and idols. And my thing is this, though, right? All these idols and other gods and cultures, their gods are not real. They have no power. The reason why we call the Most High our power, Allahaya, Allahayim. The reason why we call him that is because he is real. The Most High is absolutely real. And even in his name, it has power. Yahweh has power in his name. Don't you know that demons flee at his name? The Most High shows himself all the time. Go ask Allah, why is these natural disasters happening? Ask Allah why you were not protected from, those charges that the judge put on you. Ask Allah why you are going through hell the way that you are going through hell. Ask Allah why you are on child support. We are a rebellious children. And they and their fathers have transgressed against me even unto this very day. And the scripture, man, it's just so powerful. Because to this very day, we are transgressing against the Most High. Now, you know the term born sinner, right? Born sinner is not a real thing. No person knows if you are sinning every single day. No one truly knows. The only way someone knows if you are sinning is if they see the sin. That's it. That's really all there is to it. Now, the thing is this, right? If somebody says that you are a born sinner, ask them, what sin are you committing every single day? Because as humans, we can't monitor every goddamn thing. I can't see what you do behind closed doors. I can only see what I see in front of me right now. All I can see is right now. You right now in front of me. That's all I can see. But I can't see what you do behind closed doors when you go home. I can't see, only the Most High can see all of those things because he has witnesses. He has angels. He has messengers. Because you could fool me, but you can't fool the Most High. All right? And everything that happens in the dark comes to light. Once again, the Most High knows that you are transgressing to this very day. Also, too, and a lot of times it's not hard to tell. If you are not here in the support system where that keeps you accountable, 9 times out of 10, you are doing a thing that is, not ethical at all. You are sinning. A lot of times people are just doing that. Because what else are you doing? If you're not on those street corners, if you're not doing the thing that is helping your people fight against their flesh, fight against all the devices that are against them, then what else are you doing? You are being distracted by everything that is distracting them. And it's called sin. Sin is very convincing, man. Sin looks very good. It tastes good. It looks good. It smells good. But You have to apply yourself when it comes to discipline. You have to have integrity to go against those things. And you do have a shield. You do have protection. It's called the law, statutes, and commandments. And I'm paraphrasing, but Paul said that, paraphrasing, the Most High will make an escape for you. When you are tempted, the Most High will make an escape for you. Because we are in captivity and we are at the bottom, it's because of our own doings. Always understand that. The reason why our oppression has the upper hand on us is because we chose sin. We chose idols. We chose to live an alternative lifestyle. That's why we're at the bottom. How can we be at the top if we want to be with the same sex? How can we build a nation off of that? We start to die off. How can we build a nation? How can we rule the world if we're high all the goddamn time? You might accidentally press a button and start a whole goddamn war that was not meant to be. That was unnecessary. I mean, I digress. I don't know how many more ways I can explain and express this. We are not at the top because we deviated from the script. We had a script to follow. We had a role to play. And because we decided to do our own thing, we went rogue. That's why we're at the bottom. And our enemies are eating us up. They are devouring us as we speak. How can you let somebody that is not a part of your community enter your community and get rich off of you? They sell to you and you buy from them and you get nothing. Your community still are dried up resources. They still have no type of life to it, but yet they thrive. Their countries thrive. Their family for generations thrive. But you sit there, you don't grow, and things that don't grow, it dies. And that's you. That's you in Minnesota, Chicago, St. Louis, Detroit, Iowa, all over this earth, man, that's you. And that's only because instead of fighting for our spot back, instead of fighting for our morality, our culture, our identity, we're fighting for somebody else's. Do you want to be African American all your goddamn life, which is named after two white men? Do you want to be the biggest drug dealer of the world? Do you truly want to be, the nigga that got all the bodies on him? Do you want to be the most strongest, toughest person on the block? Do you want to be next to Donald Trump and all the whites, the elite whites, all your life? Or do you truly want to know your purpose? And knowing your purpose is that you are supposed to be a soldier of the Lord. And your job is far more greater than something that you smoke, something that's in a bottle. Being, shoulders and neck to neck with the elites of the world. Your purpose is far more greater. And you have to fight the urge. You have to fight your flesh. You have to fight your thoughts. You have to fight everything and everyone that's going to attack you. Don't join them, man. Fight against them. All right. I'm gonna drop that. Let me get one last thing real quick before we get out of here. There's so many more precepts I wanted to get into, but I might have to do a part 2. All right. All right. Let me see. What's the last one? Yeah, I'll just get straight to the point on this, man. Let's get a second Esdras. 6 and 9. Yeah. All right, here we go. All right, second Esdras and the Apocrypha, chapter 6, verse 9. For Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. Now, once again, this is one of my favorites as well. I have a lot of favorite precepts in the Bible. And this is one of them for sure, because this gives me hope. This should also give everybody who is so-called, you know, Black, Hispanic, Native Indian hope as well. Because with all the what's called ICE, with all the ICE raids, with all the constant police brutality, with all the unjustified unalivings that happen in our communities, with all the rampant unaliving ourselves, drug addiction, alcoholism, assault on one another. You know what I mean? Like vile SA assault. With all the curses that we deal with, all the disease and illness that we suffer, that we see our people go through. This scripture gives us hope that this will be over soon. But my thing is with this scripture, right? We have to understand that we have work to do. We can't just sit back and let it happen. Now, Christ will return. Esau, our oppressor, his kingdom will fall, because all kingdoms do fall eventually, right? And we see that through the Bible with each captivity, okay? With each captivity that Israel was a part of, yeah, I mean, it didn't end well. It thrives for a time, but it doesn't always survive. It thrives for a time, but it won't survive forever. However, and that's because we are not ruling the empire. Once we rule our empire, that's going to last forever. And that's also in the Bible. I might have to do a part 2. I most likely will do a part 2. All right. So for Esau, it's the end of the world. And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. How do you know that we are not, like Jacob's world or empire is not here yet? It's because we got to teach about it today. Once we stop teaching about it, once we see our oppressor under, being submissive and under our rulership and subjugation under us, then that's when we will know that our world is next up and it's going to be forever. But however, Esau's empire is right now, but it is falling. Just you watch. As it's falling, do not be victim, or do not how do you say it, man? Good night. I can't think about it. Don't be a part of the crossfire. All right, with all the wars that's going on, with all the dismantling of this empire, do not be a partaker of this place. Don't do it, because it's not going to end well for you either. The best thing that you should do is start from scratch, man. Do your 90 days in the Israelite school or UPK. Why not? No one is going to hold you hostage. We are going to give you all the rules, all the protocols, all the tools that you need in order to thrive and live in this place called America, in this earth that's being ruled by people that are truly against you. And we have all the answers. You remember how Kanye West said to Sway, you ain't got all the answers. However, in the UPK, we got all the answers. And that's not something that we just say. We show it, we live by it. If you don't believe us today, you will tomorrow. You will see for yourself. And I pray it's not at the last minute. So it's time to throw your pride to the side, because you did everything. You've been at every Muslim mosque. You served and worshiped and kissed every idol and every god. But however, you never tried this. You tried every drug, man. You tried every lifestyle. But you're scared to try this. You're scared to come into a seat for 90 days to find out for yourself if this is what you need for you and your family. I would try it out for 90 days. When I came in for 90 days, it changed my life. And I'm here to this very day. until Christ's return or until death. But if I die serving the Lord, I know one thing for certain: I'll be back. I'll be back in that seat. And I pray you understand, man. So with that being said, that's it on that. I imagine which means to stand. All right. All right, so this is the ISUK security announcements. We are the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother or sister. When a new brother or sister comes to the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shut themselves in the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. You can find it in Numbers chapter 18, verse 21. Also, Malachi chapter 3, 8 through 10 means 10th in the Hebrew, Mayashua. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. A priest fund, which is a free will offering for a priest, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like. Now, upcoming holy convocations, right? So, September 21st is going to be the memorial blowing of the trumpets, all right, at sundown. As we get closer to that holy convocation, I'll speak more about it. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, they'll start wearing all black, boot, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. With that being said, once again, I imagine, which means for everybody to stand, Wapani Hakudam, which means to face the east. This is the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Avanawi, Shabbat Shabbai, Kodash, Hayah, Shukah, Yahweh, Malawaka, Taba'ah, Rakazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Barakazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Nathalanawi, Nakam, Ho, Yavam, Wasalak Nanawa, Kamawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kamawak Yanawa, Wala'ah, Taba'ah, Wanasayawan, Abor, Hamashai Mayan, Ra, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wakakaraf, La Alamia, Amon, the Lord's Prayer in the English. And also, to be defined is in Matthew chapter 6, verses 8 to 13. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name, Yahweh. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever, so be it. Amen. Bless Israel in the Hebrew. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Barak Ladawi, Vayasha'alam, Wahabayach, Sapari, Barak, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Kawada Aman. In the English, what we just said was, Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai, bless us in Israel and the school. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you, so be it. ISUK power structures. Blessed are you, Yahweh, King of heaven and earth and all things living. Yahweh, in the name of Yahweh Shai, listen to us now, right now. To the evils and curses and punishment and destruction. To the heathen that speak against us, thy prophets, the teachers, the princes, the priests, the Israelite brothers, and the school. To the evils and curses and punishment and destruction. To the heathen, and shake loose the treasure of the rich of Israel that refuse to give to the school. Force their riches to enter thy sanctuary. To the evils and curses and punishment and destruction to the Edomites and the nations and their drug dealers, the court system, the prison system, Planned Parenthood, all the governments of our enemies, Ammonite synagogues and armies, Roman Catholic Church, the Pope, Islam, Christianity, Egyptology, militia, Ku Klux Klan, Aryan Nation, skinheads, Positivizing, the gay movement, the lesbian movement, spies, workers of witchcraft, Nazi space programs, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Wall Street, open up the internet and the airwaves, the cable access channels, and the radio channels, Convict the spirit of any thy people that seek to stop us, and bring swift destruction to all the heathen that stand in the way, or try to stop us to broadcast your words throughout the planet Earth. Let loose all the plagues, cause them go to and fro through the earth and consume them. Let the plague shake the house of the thief and the murderer. Let Yahweh Shai, Michael, and Gabriel come down with flying saucers and punish all the heathens that come up against us as we speak thy word. Cause it to be known by all that it is the angels that have done it. Cause it to be spread through the media, throughout the whole world. Cause them to shake at thy coming. In the name of Yahweh Shai, thank you always, so be it. All right. Star, which means to turn in Hebrew. All right, men of Israel. Courtesy salute for the brothers. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, Imagine. Barak, Yahweh Hashem Yahshua Barakatah. Yazmatah. Courtesy salute for the sisters. Star, which means to turn. Men of Israel, my Shabbat, Imagine. Barak, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Hashem Yahshua. Yazmatah. Class dismissed, all right? All right, shalom, Israel.
And that's not how it should be, man. This scripture that Christ had disciples, and that's not how it should be, man. This scripture that Christ had told his disciples is how you stop crime as a whole. Because when you go to him and him alone, and for you sisters out there who love the beef and who don't like to talk to another woman about, how she, treated you, you sisters need to go to her alone as well.
Nobody is holding you accountable for the things that you say you were doing or not doing. There's no, like the scriptures say, everything should be done in decency and in order.
That's right.
There's no order and decency with you going on the internet and running in the streets with no guidance, without being sent, without being anointed by the man of the Lord, by being sent by a man of God out there on them streets. You must be sent.
When you hear us say salute, shalom, Yahweh Shem Shabbat, right? That is Hebrew. Okay? Shalom, shalom, that is not Hebrew. I don't know where you learned that from, most likely from Esau, from the Jewish.
On the street corners. And we ain't selling dope, but we are teaching you how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments. We are teaching you how to not be a drug addict and a drug dealer.
Right.
How to keep you out of prison. How to not make you a target for Esau to use.